In two previous videos, I covered the inane press conference arranged by attorney Jeremy McClymondt to denounce Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. This concerns McTwerkin Tianis Jones, who got mad at McDonald staff and went behind the counter to throw some cups around. So Jeremy decided that the best way to defend your client is to attack the sheriff's office tasked with hunting her down. And his own speech at the presser was bad enough, which I covered in the first video. But he brought a couple of attention whores with him. The first up was a local pastor who Sheriff Grady Judd had arrested in the past for stalking his mistress. That's right, stalking his mistress. A pastor. And my second video covers his inept attempt to out-Grady Grady Judd.
Grady needs to be made quiet because he's not a McDoctor.
Now, a pastor who can't keep it in his pants is bad enough, but Biko Junior was standing in the wings, and he's going to spice the proceedings up with healthy doses of amusement. And we will laugh, and because he's a lawyer, we'll induct him into the Loco Lawyers gang. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Before I begin, I want to be fair. Jeremy's client here didn't have to go to jail, so perhaps Jeremy's better at representing his clients than hosting press conferences. Or the judge felt that her enduring the presser was punishment enough. Hard to say. But so it begins, and that look from Jeremy says it all.
My name is Life Malcolm, Lifemalcolm.
Life Malcolm. Interesting name.
Okay, that was weird.
And I'm sure some of you in the comment section will have a lot of fun with it. I guess it's not as bad as Death Malcolm. On second thought, Death Malcolm would be pretty damn cool, but maybe not for a lawyer. Unless it's a prosecutor. Jimmy, you're being prosecuted by Death Malcolm.
Oh crap, whatever plea deal he offers me, I'm taking it.
I'm a member of a silly law firm.
No, he didn't say a silly law firm, although that's what the closed caption said. Apparently, the closed captioning in this video is driven by an AI engine that visited the law firm's website. That will form the focus of my next video. And no, law firms are not eligible for the Loco Lawyers gang. It has to be a person. It's the Darrell Brooks rule.
I'm also a member of the African People's Socialist Party and the director of the Black People's Advancement and Defense Organization.
So Jeremy decided to have a member of a Marxist organization to take the podium in Polk County, Florida, to criticize the most popular symbol of law and order in the state.
Loco! Huh? I just really want to appreciate all of you all coming out to cover this very important issue. I'm not going to be long because Attorney McClymondt and Reverend Coward have both spoken quite eloquently and covered most of the stuff I thought I was going to have to touch on when I got up here. I will say this, though. When I got up here, I wanted to call Grady Judd a clown. But there's no reason to make disparaging remarks about clowns.
Ho, 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 ho. Seriously, dude? This is the kind of insult that you lob at the fans of a rival football team.
I'd call your team a bunch of cripples, but that would be insulting the disabled.
I've never known a clown to talk badly about a pregnant woman struggling with mental health issues.
Have you asked this clown? He probably has something bad to say about Tianis Jones.
What I will tell you is Grady Judd is dangerous to our community, to our society. And I'm quite frankly, the fact that Grady Judd had the opportunity, he has the platform. He's the sheriff. He can, Grady Judd calls a press conferences.
Did you think about what you were going to say before you stepped up to the podium? And while you may claim that Grady Judd is dangerous to the community doesn't seem to agree, given that he wins election every time by percentages only found in the Congo and Burkina Faso. More about that last country in a moment.
His platforms bring, hundreds of people out. All kind of people asking questions. All kind of people want to see what Grady Judd has to say, and he had the opportunity to use his platform to help people like Tianis Jones, who struggle with mental health issues, to address pregnant women and stuff that they go. He had the opportunity to use his platform to be helpful. Instead, he chose he chose the opportunity to use his platform to be hurtful, incisive.
Incisive? So Grady Judd's press conferences are intelligently analytical? Okay, but I thought you didn't like him. Remember, this dude got a Juris Doctorate, but in civil rights law, which is the law school's candy store.
That's not the kind of thing that at this day and age we expect from people who lead, who are leaders in our society. The ground is changing right underneath our feet as we stand right now. No longer, no people, no longer homophobic, right? We're getting away from that.
So you're getting away from homophobia. I want everybody to remember that for later.
Getting away from racist ideas. We're getting away from, all that kind of hateful, discriminatory stuff. But Grady Judd grew up in a time where, he listened to Bull Connor. He heard Bull Connor. Grady Judd was born in the 50s, and he heard Eugene Bull Connor talk.
I highly doubt it. Bull Connor was a far-right-wing white supremacist. He was also a Democrat, by the way. But when Bull Connor was out making racist noise, Grady Judd was just a young boy and living in a completely different state. So I kind of doubt that Grady remembers Bull Connor's speeches. What Malcolm is doing here is called defamation. Whatever you say about Grady Judd, he doesn't come across as racist.
He heard George Wallace talk, on the news. And no doubt, hearing that influenced him. And
based on what, Malcolm? If you're going to say that Grady Judd is racist, come out and say it.
And the thing is, Grady Judd's influence resonates with us right now today. The inflammatory stuff that Grady Judd says. The only reason why we shot him 68 times is because we ran out of bullets. If he come to my house, I'm gonna shoot him so many times you could read a newspaper through him.
Well, that's not actually what he said. The newspaper bit was about the dude that they shot 68 times. But you gotta admit, the sheriff is funny as hell. So far, we're getting a lot of wah-wah here and boo-hoo there. But now it's time for the meth to reach Malcolm's brain. Here we go.
This Grady Judd talk right here in Florida. And so because Grady Judd says these kind of things, people like the guy who killed all those people in Buffalo. Hear Grady Judd talking. He has a big platform. The guy who just killed all those people in Texas, Tianis, might have knocked over. It looked like, I don't know, I didn't count them, but it looked like it might have been 21 cups. She might have knocked over 21. Let's call it 42 cups.
I have an idea, Malcolm. Why not settle on the number of cups before speaking? That way you don't go 20 cups or no 21 cups or let's call it 42 cups.
That was local, but not in an entertaining way.
I think Mr. Emar prepared for his dissertation defense more than Malcolm prepared for this mess.
She knocked over some cups because she had some issue. This guy just killed 21 people. Because he had some kind of issue. But that guy been listening to people like Grady Judd. Oh! Even in Parkland, I think it's been, I think it's around the anniversary time. People, Parkland, influenced by the rhetoric of people like Grady Judd.
There it is, everyone. In a press conference to defend the actions of a client who knocked over some cups in McDonald's, they resort to blaming Grady Judd for the deaths at the hands of two mass murderers.
Hey, I'm the most local person in here.
You see, the only reason why those kids were shot up at Parkland was because their shooter listened to Grady Judd. I guess it was subliminal messages. Kill, kill, kill. Remember, Juris Doctorate.
And so I would just implore the people in Polk County, because if you support Grady Judd, I'm quite ashamed of you.
Malcolm, Grady Judd wins every election by about 90% of the vote. So when you say that you're ashamed of those who voted for Judd, you're pretty much pointing your finger at everyone in the county. You know who those people are. They're going to serve on the jury.
Hey, that's more like, zany or goofy.
Yeah.
It's the wrong kind of loco.
I must ask, what is your strategy here with this press conference? Hello? I thought you were here to defend your client. Think about it. The sheriff joked about the number of holes they punched in the body of a fugitive, and that made him a folk hero in not only the county, but across the nation. Do you really think you can turn public sentiment against him because he dared to criticize someone who went berserk inside a McDonald's?
Right now, because Grady Judd represents a relic of what this country seems to attempt to reach these days, which is a social justice that means something to everybody within the boundaries of the U.S. Continent. And so
The U.S. continent. That's right, the U.S. continent.
Turf field.
Doing your geography homework. It's a good idea. Juris Doctorate, everyone, in civil rights. Ooh, so hard to get.
So I would say it's time to get rid of Grady Judd. He's old. I mean, he might have been funny to some people, might have been entertaining and whatever, but he's bad for us.
He's, let me think. I need a synonym for vile, villainous, malicious. He's bad. And what's this for us crap, asshole? You're not from Polk County. You're from Tampa. It's none of your damn business if the people of Polk County want Grady as their sheriff.
We need people who have compassion for people who are different than them, people who have compassion for people with mental illnesses, mental health issues, people who have compassion for people who don't share the same race, people who have compassion for people who don't have the same sexual identities.
Malcolm, you're holding this press conference in Polk County, Florida. Remember? But it's good to see Malcolm standing up for the rights of the LGBTQ. Oh, wait. Hang on to that thought.
We need people who have compassion and understanding in leadership representing our way forward, and Grady Judd just ain't it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I turn it back over to Mr. McClymont.
Jeremy didn't exactly light it up like he was Clarence Darrow, but even he is thinking, dude, what the hell was that? Jeremy's decision-making in placing this man in the press conference mystified me at first, but now I get it. Step one was his decision to grind up a bag of hallucinogenic mushrooms into a fine powder and snort it. The rest of the steps sort of fell into place. Now, life is pretty loco, but is he Loco Lawyers material? Well, let's get to know him a bit more. Life's education includes a Juris Doctorate from the St. Thomas University College of Law. I can sort of believe that. It's civil rights law, not rocket science. But also 2 years of studying physics at Morehouse College? No freaking way. There's no way this dude passed even an intermediate sophomore level physics course. But then again, Morehouse College hosted a physics lecture by Eber moron Rashad Ritchie, so it wasn't like he was attending Harvard or even Southeastern Taylor Swift Tech A&M. So what's this about the African People's Socialist Party? According to Graham, who sent me much of what I'm presenting here, thank you, Graham, they got into some hot water over an international conspiracy to spread Russian propaganda and sow political discord in the U.S. They only got probation. And as you can see here, they feel really bad about their actions in this case. I hope the judge wasn't too hard on them. Apparently, the African People's Socialist Party has a nasty habit of supporting military dictatorships.
We, in the African People's Socialist Party, understand very well that for Africa and African people to be free, the global colonial mode of production must die. The colonizers must go.
Right on, brother.
No African can afford to be a spectator. We are all called by history,
Nice comma splice.
to act decisively wherever we are to build a modern anti-colonial movement, with the final objective of decolonizing the mode of production once and for all and replacing it with the African working class mode of production. To stand in solidarity with Captain Ibrahim Traore, General Tiani, and Kobita is to be a part of the international effort to mobilize, activate, and organize all fronts of the African National Liberation Movement to achieve our final objective, the liberation and unification of Africa and African people.
Who's Captain Traore? He's the current president of Burkina Faso, and he's a vicious tyrant. Traore's biggest ally is Vladimir Putin. So much for throwing out the colonizers. I find it odd that he's only a captain. You'd think that becoming a tyrant would come with all kinds of perks like military self-promotion. One interesting thing about him includes his ban on homosexuality. That's right, Captain Traore banned homosexuality just this year. If you're gay, you go to prison. Now, let's go back.
Who have compassion for people who don't have the same sexual identities.
So if you're homosexual, you may want to downshift it when it comes to joining Malcolm in his fight against Grady Judd. Oh, I almost forgot. Life is also the director of the Black People's Advancement and Defense Organization. This is their logo. Nothing violent about this, no sir. Here's a poster for his weekly show where he presents a biased African working class commentary on the material world. I went to the In Touch website and they feature a 2-hour video titled, "They're Trying to Kill Us." It's your typical,
Our neighborhood is dangerous, murder is rampant, it's the cops' fault because they shot one of the bad guys
documentary. Remember, Jeremy chose life to man up against one of the most emblematic symbols of America, Sheriff Grady Judd, who helped defend his client from prosecution in that socialist haven, Polk County. So, who would you rather have defend you in court, Life Malcolm or Darrell Brooks? Well, Malcolm. But I bet you had to think about it for a few seconds. At this point, I think Life Malcolm has met the eligibility requirements to join the rest of the Loco Lawyers in this playlist.
With this bandana, I welcome you to the game.
Like my video and subscribe to my channel.